So, it's time for the film and TV news video. And if you probably noticed that they announced that the Final Destination's Bloodlines directors, Zach Lebowski and Brian Adam P. Stein, who had signed a first look deal at Sony Pictures, and we're going to be a set of directing of the new Metal Gear Solid movie at Sony Pictures and I think PlayStation Studios, or it's probably not the film and TV division of that. But I digress. I mean, announced that if you don't know, the guys who brought you the director of last year's biggest hit was Final Destination Bloodlines. Sorry, it was a amazing film. I love the return for the roots and back to the day. Even Breeze Basinger, not a daughter of Kim Basinger, sorry. He had in the beginning in the movie, so I probably did playing as a younger version of that character. So this is like a flashback sequence. So really good job. If you know, he's been in Stargirl, so it was all CW. But yeah, and I think the Warner Brothers quite a relationship for that. So yeah, he will be casting in the Final Destination Bloodlines movie. And also then we're knowing that this movie was also marks to the final posthumous appearance of the Tony Todd, who sadly passed away before filming getting released in April or May. So sad he passed away, but he was probably going to be tribute. So even though the final lines in the movie, so I better give a spoilers for that. So check out Dead Meat kill count about the Final Destination Bloodlines. But nevertheless, I really love that. So I'm up in here check. I'm gonna rewatch it on HBO Max someday. But for me, the directors of Final Destination Bloodlines would sign their first look deal at Sony Pictures. So you're already getting ready for the directing of set it attached to the new Metal Gear Solid movie. So. And you're also wondering that he could be produced by the guys who brought you like the destroyer of video game adaptations and comic book from Marvel, like that. It was probably Infamous is Avi Arad. So I'm gonna talk about it in a second. So let's take a article for Variety deadline. Sorry. Following the breakout year of the Final Destination's Bloodlines, directors Zach Lebowski and Adam B. Stein having set up another new high-profile project. Deadline can confirm it's a Metal Gear Solid movie based on the stellar action video game franchise from Hideo Kojima. He had delivered it for Columbia Pictures under a new first-look publicity deal for Sony, cover all the studio labels, including Columbia, TriStar Pictures, and Screen Gems. Metal Gear Solid will be our first ever movie. Will be the first ever Avi Arad and Avi Arad are set to produce. And because I really know if you know the video about I requested a video about the hating of Avi Arad destroy all the franchise like Daredevils, Spider-Man, Blade, and all that stuff. So probably before MCU came on board And I think the reason because it's also the non-video game. Oh, and Ghost Rider too. So the reason they got video game adaptations for the suit, that's like they already destroyed a Borderlands movie from Lionsgate 2 years ago, and this is part of the low point at Lionsgate career. At the movie studio Lionsgate was compared to Warner Brothers. So if you remember the box office figures. You know, the people really care about this theaters like this Borderlands, along with the Crow remake and Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis. It's pretty much the low point of the because I'm probably struggling with my Father Baker season. But even though, except for the true hit, although underperformed the box office in the US, but it did well in overseas on Prime Video under distribution agreement with Amazon and GM Studios. And that movie. The Medicine Warfare movie with Guy Ritchie and stars Henry Cavill and a bunch of others. So you get to check it out. But it was a true hit. But even Lionsgate not distribute in the overseas, but rather Amazon and GM distribute in overseas, but since on Prime Video. So yeah. But that said, a year later, Lionsgate saved the box office with these movies like The Housemaid was directed by Paul Feig and stars Emma Streifer and Sydney Sweeney. So I think he may return for the sequel. If Michael biopic will be a box office records, most like the Project Hail Mary and Super Mario Galaxy movie, it's going to be more of a box office hit. It's pretty much the Michael was new beginning at Lionsgate, where it's probably going to focus more like revivals and will become the mini majors. So yeah. That said, I'm bringing the reasons right that Avi Arad. Avi Arad is a useless producer. He did unlike Kathleen Kennedy and Alex Kurtzman. I think Avi Arad is the most useless producer I really don't trust. And the only thing I began producing was a producer of Spider-Verse movie, and especially a couple of Sonyverse movies, was probably and even worse, the producer of the Sonyverse movies, Sony's Spider-Man universe, made the Venom, the Madame Web, Mobius, Craft of the Hunter, all the box office failures. So yeah, except with the first and the sequels probably did well, but yeah, it was a disaster. It was a mess. But I think that Avi Arad was a complete screwing up things with Sony and all the movie studios. So let's continue. Under this deal, Lubitsky and Stein's new company, Wonderlab, will deliver films for the duo to direct an original projects that they will produce for another directors. As previously reported, the pair will also do the editing of the animated Venom movie from Sony Pictures Animation. Yeah, I think this is going to be not part of the dead universe that is Sony's Spider-Man universe, but even not canon. But I think this is not taking place. Even there's probably the difference. Maybe they're probably much Sony Marvel and anyone involved. Like as for K-pop Demon Hunters was a good big hit on Netflix. So as well as the sci-fi epic The Earthling for Columbia Pictures, they are producing alongside Eric Heissener, what would they call that, and Scott Glassgold. Wonder Lab's focus will be at the creative, rather fun, commercial, character-driven, and genre-bending films. Lebowski and Stein are currently meeting executives to help lead the company. And another person who was signed a first look to at Sony Pictures was Brian Robbins, working at Nickelodeon and Paramount, or was promoted CEO as a film division. He now entered this first look deal with Sony Pictures and under a new production company who was focused on family films. And I think the family market, what did was Sony Pictures Animation, but unfortunately then the last family market film was Crime movie, Zachary Levi movie that people know, the Purple Cayenne something movie. I probably came out after Deadpool Wolverine, so it came out 2 years ago. So much like, and also another film, Bloodlines, was probably a disaster. So all because of Deadpool Wolverine. So these two movies is not so well, and even that one, Purple Cayenne movie was gone trending on Netflix for some reason. So if you want to check out people are a problem in the movie. So sorry, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I probably know Brian Robbins was assigned the first look deal at Sony Pictures to focus on kind of content between film, TV, and all that stuff via Sony Pictures Kids Zone and even the animation division, Sony Pictures Animation. So yeah, and they continue. Stanford Project has said in the statement as a Sony Pictures Motion Picture president, second Adam and are Freddy, storytelling's master of visual and suspense, and the two of the most impressive directors and producers working today with the projects across the film, across all the company label, Columbia, TriStar, Screen Gems, etc. We are so happy to create a home event and are proud to have them of part of the Sony family. Sorry. Excuse me. Said Lubitsky and Stein, we are honored to be a partner with an incredible excited team at Sony. While working with several Sony team in the last year, we've been blown away by the level of creativity, thoughtfulness, and passion we felt in the Emmy controversy. We share the vision that Tom, Stanford, Peter, Louis, Christine, and Damien, not Damien Chazelle or whatever the director of La La Land and Babylon, not that one. Or with less, not that one, the completely different person. Damien, if you know. Ashley and the whole Sony team have for the created theatrical event films that entertain the world. And yes, Tom Robin. It said that Tom Robin is a present chairman at Sony Pictures, regarding Metal Gear Solid, the director said, as long-term fans of the game, we're thrilled and honored to bring Hideo Kojima's iconic characters and unforgettable world to life. And I'm not a gamer, but I haven't played the game, but probably I saw a couple of YouTubers. There's a famous meme, a sound effect which goes, like, that the experience points to sound effect, which become a sort of a trending something on the social media. So that's when you know. And I probably know Metal Gear Solid was become a well-known video game franchise, and it's probably and if you probably know the Konami's biggest game franchise. So I'm probably Hideo Kojima were proud of that, and especially everyone that per work in Japan, not stay. So yeah, I haven't played the game, but I will watch a lot of videos on YouTube. So Lebowski and Stein will talk of the town last year with the Final Destination's Bloodlines ruined the critical raves, and they came in the highest grossing installment of the revised franchise. Other upcoming projects for Duo, including The Traveler for Paramount, Gremlins 3 from Warner Brothers, Long Lost from Universal and Amblin, and a sequel to their cult favorite indie sci-fi film Freaks, which is their wrap production. So, in the Hollywood Reporter, the THR was first to today's news. So, I'm excited I'm excited what these two people were working at Sony to focus better plans and better projects into the future. I think I'm not familiar with this director. I love Final Destination Bloodlines, like I said, but I hope the Metal Gear Solid movie was going to be happening. It's going to be good. But it was written by the few executive and producers, especially Avi Arad. I completely destroyed that movie because of the problems in the movie. Like any other projects that Arad was involved, except with the Spider-Verse movies. That's pretty But and even I think the upcoming project was the Spider Noir TV Amazon series from Amazon Prime. So I hope to see what happens. If you don't, then I hope it's going to be a negative response and people would complain it's not part of the Sony's Spider-Verse universe, but even this take place in the Spider-Verse, but not in the live action form. So I hope it's going to be that good or bad, going a mess like many a times, like they did with the Bloodlines movie. It's screwing up things like that. So yeah, I know so sorry from Avi Arad. I don't trust him. You can check out the video about that in the description. So, and again, also check out Dead Meat Kill Count video about the Final Destination Bloodlines. It's amazing. So check this out. So yeah, I'm excited for the new what's going on at Sony at team at Wonder Lab with Lebowski and Stein's production company, and we're now under the Sony Pictures. It might be produced under this different studios. Again, a few projects under the other movie studios like Sony, Paramount, Warner Brothers, and Universal. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited for that. And these two people, I'm gonna get excited. The duo filmmaking, we're all excited what's going on next. The genre bending thing, it's becoming the new sort of director's chair. So it's not kind of directors you're familiar with. So I'm excited for that. So these two people, so yeah. What do you guys think? Are you excited for the Metal Gear Solid movie, or yeah or no? Do you excited or not? Let me know in the comments. And what do you think of these? And what do you think of these two people who signed the first look deal at Sony Pictures? And last question is, what do you think of Do you like Final Destination Bloodlines? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments below. And I probably gonna do more film and TV news in some point. But even the couple of days, CinemaCon was happening in Las Vegas, but I'm gonna not going here. I'm staying in Sweden, but I think I'm not going because I stay house. So I'm gonna do further updates. So stay tuned for that. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video, share it with friends, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell so update on this channel as well as to subscribe to my other channel. So let me know. And till then, see you guys later. And as always, over and out.